What's that, Bomber? We'll find out. Find out.
Ready?
Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Sportsbook Live, Mohegan Sun, NFL kickoff Thursday. Mutt and Shander, we made it, buddy. We made it. What's going on?
We did.
We did.
We made it. All of us collectively made it to football. You and I somehow, I don't know how, but the two of us made it to this show with all of the things going on in our respective and now collective world. I have you to thank for all these new friends that I have. This is great, brother. I'm excited, man. I'm pumped up, ready to go in Mohegan.
I'll tell you what, the biggest issue we have right now is that you're not here live. There are at least 10 people waiting to shake your hand and me. We've got to get you here live. We're going to be here Thursdays for the next bunch of Thursdays here from the beautiful FanDuel Sportsbook, Mohegan Sun's Sportsbook Live. You got to promise to be here at some point. I've gotten 4 of those already. When is Shander going to be here?
Right.
Are you committing to be here live at some point in the Sportsbook for the show?
I am. In fact, I was planning on being there today. But really? I was told, now I don't want to out him by any means, but I was told by Mike Butnansky that I was safer to do this show in a bunker where I currently am. I don't even have windows around me right now. Like this is, what's that show with Kiefer Sutherland when the entire Congress goes, he's the next guy up?
24?
No, not 24. It was the next one after 24. Like that's where I am. I'm in a bunker right now, protected. And I wanted to be there, but Mutt told me not to show. Just give it a sec. Just give it a week and let this whole thing simmer.
I did not say that. I said that you're enjoying people putting things on your face on social media. You're enjoying the new attention that you get. For those that don't know, Eitan does a lot of shows on Odd Shopper. You do this this is what you do every single day. You're talking sports betting. Your audience knows that, but this is what you are doing. Help people pick out winners every day, every sport. This is your life.
Look, it's your life now too. All right. And as much as you've done your best to hide this side of who you are a gambler. You are a bettor. You degenerate. Are somebody that looks at odds.
Yes, degenerate.
Well, I didn't want to use that. Look, you're degenerate. At a casino. You're at a sports book. You can't say degenerate. Come on.
Basically what I am. That's okay. But we are here for a bunch of reasons, specifically to hand out winners in the NFL and to show people this unbelievable Mohegan Sun Sportsbook. Brad Bryant, the whole team here has done a fantastic job. At some point, I will turn the camera onto the Sportsbook, give people a good idea. We got a beautiful backdrop behind us. They're eating wings. They're getting ready for the game. They're betting horses here. My kind of people betting Kentucky Downs in the Sportsbook here. But really, we are excited to be here. It should be a fun stretch here. I'm looking forward to yelling at you about stupid bets you're going to make. You're going to yell about stupid bets that I'm going to make. But the end game is to help people make some money. I think that's what we want to do here, including Brad Bryant, the GM, will join us later on the show. He's a very sharp guy. I'm not here to hand out losers. We can have fun with it, but my hope is that we hand out a lot of winners for people every single Thursday on the show.
Absolutely, brother. And that's the big thing here, which is you can make fun of me. You can say whatever you want. The chat is already. And look, we appreciate everybody here as active as the chat is, as expected as it is right here. The only thing that's going on, the only thing that matters is winning. So I couldn't give a shit if people attack. I couldn't care. The only thing that matters is coming home with winners. If I sweep the board, you're going to hear about it. If you sweep the board, you better let me know about it.
I will tell you the sign here at Mohegan Sun's FanDuel Sportsbook. Winning isn't everything. It is the only thing. So that's the goal here for us on this show. We'll get audience participation. We'll get some live fans on hand. We'll get Bomber Bryant. But we will do a lot of football here over the next hour or so. I would
Love
love
it.
to sit here to open the show and tell you I'm excited about my Patriots. I'm based in Boston. You're based out of Philadelphia. We got two teams in the middle, the Giants and the Jets. The Patriots win total is 4.5. I have already bet the under, and I feel very confident about it. I will give you my reasons why I think the Patriots are going to stink this year, but I'll let you go first as the outsider who's watches things from afar. I think the Pats are going to stink. Your view on their season and that 4.5 win total they posted really months ago in Vegas.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at how down everybody is on this team. And I think some of it is probably just the uncertainty of May and coming out there with a young quarterback that hasn't played here. You've got first-year quarterback, first-year head coach. That's a terrible combination to start things off. And clearly, when you lose your best player, arguably, right, or maybe you're just your best defensive player, there's going to be a lot of that, right? Looking at just slam the under here, slam the under. There's no real value right now on going over. So even if you wanted to be contrarian, even if you wanted to come out and just be like, man, you're crazy, you're an idiot, or anybody out there who thinks the Patriots have some kind of weird, bizarre angle to win 5-6 games, the reality is that there's not even any value on there. There's not even anything on the other side where you're laying for a win total. Never lay juice for a win total. That makes no sense, especially for a team that's hanging at 4.5. So I looked at it initially with a defense that was intact, right, before Mayo, and the idea at least that Jacoby Brissett would start, and then ultimately they would move on to May. And I thought they'd have a shot. Like, I thought they would have a legit shot at getting to 5, maybe 6 wins. But now, no way. No way.
Yeah, no way for a lot of reasons.
Nope.
I can list them all. Like, first and foremost, toughest schedule in the NFL. Sharp Football says toughest schedule in the NFL. Terrible offensive line. I'd rather have you on that offensive line. Some of the guys are going to play in that spot coming up on Sunday against the Bengals. Boring offensive coordinator. Alex Van Pelt, this guy they hired, is boring as all get up. He's here. I think he is here for a year and done here for the Patriots. I think maybe trying to tank, sneaky trying to tank here. They realize that it's not a winning year. If you tank, you have a high draft pick. Eitan, you have a bunch of money to spend. Maybe ownership gets involved at some point and says, hey, we got to win some games, but they probably view it as a good thing to lose a bunch of games here. Rookie head coach Sherrod Mayo, comes out a week ago in a 75-second press conference to answer 2 questions about why Brissett is going to start over Drake May. Like, there are no good vibes whatsoever. By the way, spent no money in the offseason outside of their own guys. So there's still no number one receiver. Their best defensive player, Barmore, is hurt. He has blood clots, might not play. Like, not only is it going to be a bad year for the team, it's going to be a boring team to watch because maybe at some point Drake May gets in and that'll be what you root for. But offensively, you've seen Alex Van Pelt's offenses.
Sure.
It's Nick Chubb. It's Jerome Ford. It's run the football. That's what you get now with Stevenson and Gibson. This is not only bad football, boring football. And so I like the under, but also there are places, including at FanDuel, where you can bet fewest wins in the entire NFL. And when I looked at it earlier today, it was somewhere north of 3-1, plus 325, plus 330, somewhere in there. I bet that too, because I think Carolina is better than people expect. I think the Patriots are worse even potentially than people expect. So I'm about the under with this team. I think it's going to be bad. And I think if you're a New England football fan, a lot of red zone and a lot of gambling. So you're watching red zone, at least those games are fun. If you gamble, at least the games are still fun. If the Patriots suck. So that's how you're going to get through this season from a Patriots standpoint. How about in Philadelphia? 10.5 is the win total, one of the highest numbers in the NFC.
Yep.
I would probably lean under as an outsider, but you watch this team, you listen about this team on Sports Talk Radio there in Philadelphia. If you had to bet it, over under 10.5 on this Philadelphia team, which way would you go right now?
Look, this is an overplay here, right? And I know we'll try to fix what's going on there on Mutt's end for some people because I don't know what changed on your side. So maybe Kyle can come in and step in. But here's the other part about it. And who knows, maybe it's like a mass troll job. I don't really know at this point because other people are saying that they can't hear you. But as far as the Eagles are concerned, it's an overplay because you look at this division. There are 2 divisions in the NFC that I think you can honestly split and say you've got haves and have-nots, and there isn't anything that a have-not's going to do to come over and truly steal this thing away. The NFC North is the other one, the NFC East here. So you're not going to have the Giants. You're not going to have Washington step in and all of a sudden just destroy this division, right? Like, you're not going to have that. So you're looking at the Eagles and the Cowboys here. What would it take really for the Eagles to finish with 9 or 10 wins? it would take, I think, a step back here. Like, I think it would take a massive step back to where the Eagles, for whatever reason, lose, 2 of 4 or 3 of 6 to start the year. It's just not something that I think you're going to get, because we saw this last year up until that massive collapse. And again, so many issues with the coordinators that are gone now, and you've got at least competent people on both sides of the ball. But I'm telling you, man, like, that's the issue, is all of a sudden you've got a team here that's basically guaranteed a shot at the division, an extra game on the schedule, and good enough to win some ugly or bad games. So you're not going to get a ton of value going over the 10.5. But if I had to choose, I'm absolutely looking at going to 11, possibly 12 wins here. Again, I can still see them coming in with a wild card, not even winning the division, getting to 11, possibly 12, depending on how good Dallas is. But yeah, I'm going over here.
Yeah, and in the middle of those two teams, you have the two New York teams who have a drastically different expectations for this season, right? You talk about, I texted my brother-in-law today, diehard Giants fan. Already bought the neighbor's jersey, like ready to go to Germany to watch his team play. He said 8 or 9 wins would be a good season for them. He'd sign for that right now. You tell a Jet fan today, they win 8 or 9 games, then they're ready to throw the season in the trash. They're supposed to win. Rodgers supposed to win this year. This is supposed to be their big playoff run. And so kind of a much different look for those two teams with two crazy different expectations there with the New York Jets and New York Giants.
Yeah, I think the Jets, to start there, the Jets have been massively underrated here. And I think the biggest reason is because people saw what they were, right? Like, people saw what they were last year with no.
I think people hate Rodgers. I think people don't like his attitude. There's an anti-Rodgers thing going on, which, for whatever reason, exists. It exists.
Well, I mean, anything that you want, right? People don't like his political views. People don't like the fact. Yeah. What is he on? The McAfee show? The Minahane show? Which show is he on again?
Both those shows, yes.
Okay. But I know, like, people don't like the fact that Aaron Rodgers is not the typical outspoken athlete that's in this confines of whatever the political associations, and just so when COVID happened and Trump and all these other things happened, he was just pinned as somebody who knows if he is or not. I don't care, honestly. And I think that it's compelling this year because so many people wrote this team off that he was out, and they hold their own personal bias against Rodgers that they're not willing to look at and be like, this team is actually pretty good defensively. I'll tell you what I love about this is that you have Robert Saleh, who should absolutely be as hot as it could possibly be on that seat, now able to focus on defense, now able to not have to worry about offense with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Look, man, I think this thing is legit for the Jets to make the playoffs. I think they have a shot. They're live to win Monday night. We'll talk a little bit more as far as like best bets and all, but the Jets are being massively undervalued. Massively.
I wouldn't say massively, but there's a little bit of that on the Giants too. People don't realize how motivated Dayball is going to be. I get it. Daniel Jones apparently stinks to everybody, but now he's got some offensive weapons. I'm not sure they're going to be a playoff team, but I do think they're a little bit better than people expect. Like, I believe in Dayball. What I saw him do in Buffalo with Josh Allen, maybe he can't do it with Daniel Jones, but at least there's some talent around him now in New York. So there's at least a promise there. Philadelphia is a playoff team. Jets are a playoff team. There's promise for the Giants. There is nothing for the Patriots. There is nothing. Maybe Drake May at some point, please, sooner than later. But other than that, it is brutal.
Can't even angle like player props and stuff. At least I can get Devontae Smith anytimes and stuff along those. You're just fading everybody on New England this year? Is that really what we're doing? Just betting unders?
I'll give you a player prop towards the end of the show. Something to look not only this weekend, but later on, if you're playing daily fantasy DFS, there's one guy in the Patriots who's probably worth at least looking at. We are here in the Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sportsbook. It is Sportsbook Live, presented by our friends at Mohegan Sun. We've talked about the Patriots, talked about the Eagles. The thing kicks off in like 90 minutes. So you have like 90 more minutes to get in future bets and awards bets. I love the futures. I have some ridiculously dumb awards takes. We'll do it in 30 seconds here from Mohegan Sun. Don't go anywhere.
Who's in for Mohegan? Obviously everyone. We're off to the races. A moment of calm before the dark and stormy. High score, dance floor. Apps, crafts, and nightcaps? Then it's down for the thread count to start it all again tomorrow. This is how it feels when you're all in for Mohegan. Mohegan Sun.
This football season, take in every epic moment on the largest HD video wall in the Northeast at the Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, here we are. I got something I want to ask you. You bring us back here to Mohegan, sir?
What's up,
But
buddy?
go ahead.
You asked me first, as we're live here at Mohegan Sun for Mohegan Sun Sportsbook Live. People are cheering here. They're excited. Good crowd in the house. You asked me. Go ahead. What's up?
So you told me, and I don't know how much I want to believe you, by all means, that there are people there anticipating my appearance and my presence, right?
One of the first people I talked to said, "Is Eitan here tonight?" Yes.
Now, is that, I don't mean to go like full Seinfeld on you, but to break down the tone, was it like, is Eitan here? Or was it like, is Eitan here? One of those.
Well, let's say somewhere in the middle.
Framingham, Mass, right? Like driving his electric truck. Is Eitan here?
Let's say somewhere in the middle of that. Is that like it wasn't celebratory? I will say this, there was disappointment. Like I have a wife. She's disappointed in me literally every single day. So I see disappointment. I see that face every single day. I saw disappointment in the face of a couple of fans who were asking for you. I said, you'd be here at some point, but not for week one.
Okay, here's what I'd like to do. And I'm going to put the onus on you here, right? Because the chat is full on belief that I'm homeless, I'm poor. I've seen other things associated with me here. So here's what I would like to do. This is just me. Here's what I would like to do. I want you to identify one of the people that you see there live at Mohegan Sun that is, for whatever reason, and I can't understand why, disappointed that I'm not there. And I want to buy their dinner tonight at the casino. Okay. So I'm going to take care of it through you, but I'm going to buy somebody theirs dinner. I'll get them a little extra for drinks so that they can enjoy it a little small night on me. How about that?
That is very, very nice of you.
Okay.
Now, we do
that
you have
every
to be
there. All right. So if you're like 20 minutes from the casino and you just want to pop in and bullshit Mike and say, oh, I miss Eitan, you're qualified as far as I'm concerned.
I will find there are people. I will find them and I will say it's directly from you. They will take care of it. And that's a nice gesture by you to reach out to your adoring fans here at Mohegan Sun. I like that.
I love my people.
I love my people too. I got some betting vouchers I want to give away. To people that are here at the Sportsbook. We'll do it every single Thursday. If you're going to bet the Thursday night game, come on by, place your bets at 6, hang out with us, call us morons. And we'll give you some free bets along the way, courtesy of Sportsbook Live and me and with you. Maybe you want to place your free bet on the awards market. I'm into the awards market, maybe not as much the totals, because like you said, it's not the greatest thing, but awards, when they're priced the right way, the way they fluctuate throughout the course of the year, it's its own little market. So last couple of years, I've loved the awards. I have a couple of awards that I've already placed that I want to run by you. One MVP, one coach, one offensive rookie of the year. I'm going to start with MVP because Mahomes is a legit favorite, right? If Mahomes plays like he's going to play, he's going to win the whole thing. Why can't Jared Goff win the MVP at 25-1 on FanDuel? So hear me out, 25-1. Loaded offense. Teams projected to win on that New York Times projection thing, 10.5 games, second most in the NFC. Voters are stupid with this award. They go to the quarterbacks of good teams that score points. It's a loaded offense. Easy schedule, 25-1. They can get 3-4-1 start. All of a sudden, things down like 10-1. So 25-1 on FanDuel. It's a big price right now. Jared Goff, MVP. Tell me I'm a moron.
You're a moron. 30 TDs, 12 picks. Now, granted, you're in that 4,500 yard here, and I understand that I'm minimizing a season by just looking at his end, but that's what voters are going to do. Voters are morons. Voters aren't going to look specifically, right? So are those MVP numbers? Because I think two things need to happen for Jared Goff to win the MVP. He needs to take a jump and finish somewhere in like that 35, 36, 7, maybe 8 at most picks. And the league needs to slow down a little bit. Like, I get it. There's probably going to be some Mahomes fatigue, even maybe Lamar, depending on what Jackson does. But come on, you need him to step up. Now, to your point, if you're telling me that 4, 5, 6 weeks into the season, that 25-1 number is going to look like 18, 17, maybe 15-1, and there's going to be some value there. Okay, I'm fine with it. But if I'm just looking at this like bet to win, I think two big things need to happen. I would counter and say, why not take, and you're going to take a little bit less of a number here, but why not take a shot at someone like Dak Prescott, who, if Dallas wins, it's pretty much handcuffed, right? Like it's hard to look at a year in which the Cowboys win the division, are a strong favorite in the postseason, yet Dak Prescott is not like top 2 in the MVP.
Well, same thing with Goff, though, right? Do you think it's more likely Dallas has that big year?
And Prescott has better numbers across that board. Yeah.
Numbers could help. Is Dak your MVP bet, or are there any price MVP bets you like at this point?
I didn't bet anything on the MVP, but I definitely would look at Dak because I think as much as I like the Eagles and I'm big on the Birds, obviously, I think there's value in kind of handcuffing it where if you like Dallas to win the division, you like Dallas to do some stuff, you should look at Dak along the MVP. I just think those two things are going to be hand in hand.
Any other awards that you're into? Any of the markets, in the future markets you're into?
Here's the one that I really want to hear what you have. And I didn't bet it this year, but I have in the past couple of years. Just missed out on Doug Peterson a couple of years back, but the coach of the year, because I think if you look at winning 10 games, taking a team that at least 10 games, taking a team that didn't make the playoffs the year prior and now made the playoffs, I think there are a couple of pieces of criteria, right? Like outside of that one bizarre Mike Vrabel year where he won 50 games and then Bill Belichick, who was like the anomaly, right, when it comes to anything, including awards, there's pretty much a consistent theme here where if you identify a coach that has a chance to take a team that did not make the playoffs last year to the playoffs while winning at least 10 games, I think you're in a really good pole position to win this award.
I'm with you. I don't know if anyone fits that criteria this year. I have one. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I'll go back to the Giants for a second. Like, again, on FanDuel, Dayball's 40-1. So
stop.
Big media market, bunch of, you can say they're not going to be good or great. Bunch of high profile games. They're going to play on prime time all the time. If they win some of those games, Daniel Jones has his like big breakout year. Finally, first time since his rookie year. And they make the playoffs, why can't he win the thing at 40-1? Because they weren't a playoff team a year. Everything you just said, and the big media market of New York, which always helps these awards.
Okay. Let's look at the media market, right?
Yeah.
And you can see here, just looking up on FanDuel. Oh, well, we'll have to switch the background there to get that up. But looking at this now, the biggest thing I would push back on is the media market, right?
Yep.
If you had the Boston Patriots, well, like the New England Patriots, and then like another team in Boston. So you had the New England Patriots and the Boston Pellets, or whatever the hell it may be.
Pellets, yeah, great team name. Excellent.
Right? Awesome. Yes. Boston, I'm sure the chat's going to love that. I can't believe, Mutt, this guy can't even come up with a team name. And what are you doing associated with him? Right? Like, you passed up full-time money and he can't even come up with it. He called them the Boston Patriots. What are you doing, Mutt? Like, my point being is that just everything is equal here. The only thing that's different is that there's now a second team up in Boston. Are you telling me that just the sheer nature of that media market is going to spill over? Like, the reality is the Jets are going to steal everything. So in order for Brian Daboll to win Coach of the Year, the Jets would have to be basically non-existent. You've got Aaron Rodgers. You've got the storyline surrounding on that. Daniel Jones is boring. Brian Daboll is boring. The New York Giants are a painful product to watch. And I don't care who you are betting for this team or watching this team. So I think, look, 40-1, I get it, but come on, brother. That's a huge leap.
I'm not betting. There's not any, I think 10-1 is the shortest price in that market. So there's not like there's some huge, a huge favorite like there is for, say, offensive rookie of the year where, there's a huge standout in Caleb Williams. The other price I like that. And again, I try some correlating these things. I guess I'm showing where my feelings are for this team, but I mean, Dan Campbell, 25-1. He finished third last year.
Not bad.
Easier schedule this year. I think there's people that feel like he maybe should have won it a year ago. Now they match up what they did last year. Goff has another big year. Like probably less likely. But 25-1, I felt like was still a pretty fair price for a team that's going to be very good, going to win 10, 11 games. And again, the media likes Campbell. So those are my two price ideas of Coach of the Year. But I'm with you. That thing fluctuates during the season. You can find good places to bet that when the season starts.
What about Saleh, by the way? You're talking about a team that did not make the playoffs, right? That has a chance to win 10 games at least this year and should be in contention for, at the very least, a wild card in the AFC East. I think Saleh would be a guy that I would look at.
I will put him down on my list here. If I can get it in before kickoff tonight.
Don't bet Eberflus. Do not bet that guy.
No, I've seen he's been pushed way too much. How many people have said he's the winner?
Don't
I'm not.
do it.
No, thank you.
He's not going to live to see the promised land. I can tell you that.
Any other award markets you're into before kickoff here on Thursday night?
I don't have any awards. I mean, I've got some season totals if you wanted to get into that.
Let me give you one more award then. So I think Caleb Williams is going to be very good, but if you're betting plus 120 at Offensive Rookie of the Year, I can't help you. That's way too short. I mentioned New York. I mentioned Neighbors. Hard Knocks. He was the guy they wanted in the draft. Over 100 yards a game last year in college. Best college receiver, Pro Football Focus. Dayball, desperate to get somebody going. He's a big price up there on the board right now, 15, 16 to 1. Malik Neighbors for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Would he be anywhere on your card based on everything talked about here with the Giants?
Boy, I was looking at Neighbors.
You're saying no.
I was looking at his over-under. I wrote something for Odd Shopper on Prize Picks, the season total, and he was sitting at 850 yards. Maybe it was like 850 and a half. Right.
Total?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, this was before the injury. Over.
Yes.
See, again, I think looking at Daniel Jones and looking at production that you've gotten from the wide receiver position, he would have to be the best performing wide receiver since Odell Beckham Jr., meaning Slayton, everybody else, right? And I get it, like it's a lower bar, Mutt, but you're asking a rookie to step in and get you what, like 860, 870 this year? I think you're right, though. If he does go over and if he is in this 900, 950 range, there'll be some scores associated with it. It's going to be hard to knock Williams off. But look, I think of all the awards you've given me, that's my favorite.
Okay. How about team futures, things you fired in on? It sounds like you've locked in on some futures there.
Just two. I don't think that the Ravens are going to have a big year this year. I really don't.
Ooh.
Their offensive line coach passed away, and he was really good. They are bringing in 3 new offensive linemen, and the new offensive line coach, Warhop is his name, is just atrocious, right? Like, he is unbelievably bad in the 18 years that he's coached in the NFL with teams that just don't win. They don't score. They're just bottom tier and overall scoring protection, what have you. So there's a lot of change and flux with Baltimore's offensive line, and it's going to spill over. They're not going to be able to pound the ball with Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson's going to be running a lot more, I think, out of necessity and need than is just comfort. So I went under 10.5 wins for them. I got it at even money, and I still think that if you're going to put a futures play, there has to be a plus, even if it's plus 100 next to it there. I think 10 wins for Baltimore, 9 wins for Baltimore is a reasonable expectation. Then here's another one, too. It makes no sense for me. I'm under 8.5 wins at plus 130. I get that the Bears moved up, and this is not a typical situation here, but for a number 1 draft pick, Burrow, go back and look at these guys. They don't win 9 games. They don't come in and just start with CJ Stroud. Like, okay, you want to look at that, but there's a different scenario, the team that he went to. Chicago has a bunch of new pieces on offense around him. You don't have the coaching staff. You don't have the ability to look at this and say, all right, I can put this piece of puzzle together. You're just staring at a lump mold of clay there while stuff passes you by. Sorry. So my point being is that I'm under 8.5 wins here. I don't see the Bears getting to 9 wins. That's plus 130. Those are my 2 big ones.
I'll give you the Ravens one. I'll back you up. Not needing me to back you up, but weird offseason, right? Monken comes back after that terrible AFC title game where ran the ball 3 times, then bailed. They bring in Derrick Henry, which seems so cliche, right? Want to run the football, bring in this big running back. Lamar Jackson doesn't play a sniff in the preseason. I'm giving away what I think tonight for Thursday Night Football, but there's some regression coming. I get that Harbaugh is really good. He's excellent against the spread, but I think there is some regression coming with Baltimore, and their offensive identity. I guess we're going to pound the ball with Derrick Henry. Well, Lamar Jackson's pretty damn good, so I don't get quite what they're doing. And as you said, 3 new offensive starters on the offensive line. There are some issues. There's some futures, some awards for you. I will tell you coming up. Our general manager here at Mohegan Sun's FanDuel Sportsbook. The Bomber, Brad Bryant, is here. And he does this thing with futures that I had never thought about doing. He told me about it last year. He's going to go on and talk about it. He's going to give his best bet of the week for week 1. And he's going to be wearing a uniform of a team that most people outside of one, I don't say they all hate this team, but a lot of people hate this team. The Bomber, Brad Bryant, next year. Mohegan Sun Sportsbook Live, 30 seconds away.
Who's in for Mohegan? Obviously, everyone. We're off to the races. A moment of calm before the dark and stormy. High score, dance floor. Apps, crafts, and nightcaps? Then it's down for the thread count to start it all again tomorrow. This is how it feels when you're all in for Mohegan. Mohegan Sun.
This football season, take in every epic moment on the largest HD video wall in the Northeast at the Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sportsbook.
Look at that.
Look at this crew right here. How's that look on your end? Let's look at this handsome fellow. What's up, Bomber? Pull that mic up, buddy.
What's going on?
What's up? You can speak into it.
This looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Look at
You tell me. You've been watching the last half hour.
I think it looks great. I think it looks great.
Good. I think you look great. Do you wear this Cowboys
every day?
Do you wear the Tony Romo to work every day?
Every day.
Wow. That's
with my
sad
boots, my jeans. I'm ready to go.
Your Texas Rangers lanyard there.
Got it.
Look
ready
at you.
To go. All Texas.
Good rowdy crowd here in front of you. I like this group.
This is pretty cool. Look at these people that came in for this. We're passing out some hoodies too for the guys that came in.
I like that. Excellent.
Look at that. Be sporting a Mohegan Sun hoodie.
Beautiful. All right. So we were just talking here. We're talking about futures. I have some dumb award bets. Eitan has some future bets. Can you explain to the people and to the Shander here, like what you did last year with the future? Specifically, you were there was a Texas Rangers fan sitting near me. The way you played that and the way you think people could play futures and add some value to their futures here as the NFL season kicks off.
So the way I like to do it is you can put up a little money to win a lot, but you have to start early in the season. So I'll give you an example. So let's say the Cowboys are 20-1 to win the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Okay. So let's say you take a team tonight and you take the Kansas City Chiefs and you lay 2.5 with the Chiefs and you parlay that to the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl at 20-1. The Chiefs get there and now you got the Cowboys probably at 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. So you're enhancing your odds by, let's say, 10 points because you're parlaying it with a team that won tonight at minus 110. So you're doing the multiplication factor, which means you can do that multiple times and you can do it for less money. So instead of coming out and having to bet, let's say, $500 on the Cowboys at 20-1, you could do a bunch of bets at $5, $10, $20, and then you end up, when it's all said and done, you'll end up winning more if the Cowboys actually get there.
Because you pointed this out, like the when you parlay even one game with a future, it sort of exponentially boosts it up, and so you can take, to your point, common events and things you can happen and build this portfolio of tickets over the course of a season and put yourself in a position to really score out with a couple of basic plays along the way.
Absolutely. And you can start so early. That's the best part about it. As soon as they put it up, you can start betting a game every night. I did that last year with the Rangers. I started the year before last, and I started betting a game every night and parlaying it to the Rangers at 60-1. So, and you're doing it for like $5 or $10. You don't have to go out and do 50 or $100 every day. You just do $5 a night, $10 a night. And the next thing you know, you've got $300 or $400 and you got them at 120-1 or whatever, because, and you can do 3-teamers. You don't have to do 2-teamers. You can start early in the week with football. You could do one team and then parlay it to another team and then just make your final leg that team that you want to win whatever, the World Series or the Super Bowl.
Nice. That's
you won't get that.
Cool.
You won't get that information on any other show.
We certainly won't.
You led with it too. Like you came right out swinging. You didn't even let us wait or anything.
I'd rather be swallowed whole by a whale than nibbled to death by a minnow.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds very highbrow.
And you know what? If you're in a quick setting where you don't have to worry about the person responding, you can get away with saying that without knowing what it means, Mutt. So we can thank Bomber for that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket that one.
There you go.
Bomber's been doing this a long time. He helped put together this beautiful sports book here at Mohegan Sun. You've been sports books, you've been race books, you've done this forever. How about week one advice? We're going to fire off some bets here coming up in a little bit. We've talked about futures, awards.
Yeah.
As someone who has been on the other side of the counter, I'm a loser. I come up. I'm going to make my bets week one. What advice would you give me and the people out there for how to approach week one, early NFL, early college football?
Well, I mean, you just can't go crazy, especially in the NFL, because whatever happens in the NFL week one usually reverses in week two. Okay. This year in college, you've got the NIL factor. You've got all these players going from one school to the next. I don't know if you watched the game the other night, but like the first 5 or 6 players they introduced were from a different team.
Right.
Like you never hear that anymore. Like he's from Liberty, he's from Oregon, he's from wherever. So I really think that's affected the college play. This is week, 2 or 3 of college, and I haven't even had a play yet. So I think you've definitely got to wait for college to see what's going to come out of that with the NIL factor. And in the pros, I think you need 2 or 3 weeks to really gauge what's going to happen. They don't practice that much anymore like they used to. I think it's just going to take a little time. So don't get out. It's a long season, 16 weeks, 18 weeks, whatever. It's going to take for a long time to come in.
But all the games are up there. I want to bet them all.
Yeah. But,
why can't I bet them all week one?
Yeah, but if you do that, you want to bet. It's like going to the horse track. You can't bet every race. You can.
I mean, I did.
But
Saratoga
usually,
didn't work out well.
Yeah, usually end up at the ATM or borrowing money from somebody. But you don't want to do that. You got to pace yourself. It's a long season. Pick your spots. It's just not worth it. And, take your time. They're going to play again tomorrow.
What do you got for our guy here, Bomber?
How early do you get in on week one stuff, right? Because every week, once we start going into the season, lines will come out Sunday night, and you can get ahead of something, a 7.5, a 3.5, things along those lines, 2.5, 6.5, depending on what you're looking at. That's just 2 examples here for you, Brad. But when you're looking at week one, I mean, you can get in all the way back in May, right? When these things come out. I looked at the total for Friday night's game. It opened at 51.5. Hard to think that it was going to stay at that number, especially in Brazil. So the smart area is like, okay, we'll jump in that before that line moves. And then the other side of it was like, you idiot, you jumped on a bet May 10th, 15 people could be hurt. Something could fit. Like there's that balance, right? Of betting something too far out and leaving more variance to getting ahead of something, knowing you have way longer of a time frame before week one than any other week.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm not a big fan of what I know. A lot of people do that now where they want to bet those early lines like 8 months ago or when they first come out. I think there's too much variant in there, like you're talking about with the injuries. But I will preach to the people that make their bets. Don't wait till the day of game to make your bets. If you look at, I was looking at the NFL lines, you're going to lay a bad line if you're taking you too many 2.5s, too many 7.5s. They're all bad lines now. You got to bet early to get the better numbers. I think you come out better that way. Don't wait till the last minute. If you wait till game day, I think you've waited too late.
That's interesting. Have you guys thought at all, both of you? I guess I don't know how to do this, so maybe you guys did. We have a new kickoff rule in the NFL. Have we factored that into it all, what we're going to see? Because they want more kickoff returns, right? They're expecting more kickoff returns. Is that any factor for totals, what we're looking at here? Is it any impact, the fact there'll be more returns than we've ever seen in the NFL, at least recently?
I don't think so yet. I think things need to happen. So, and look, I'm talking to Brad, so he can always correct and adjust, which is something he's probably going to get used to talking to both of us on a weekly basis. So get used to it now. We might as well throw you in the deep end here. But to answer your question, right? Like, what are you really looking for to gain? I guess. Let me throw that back at you real quick, and then I'll answer that.
Well, is there a chance the books have not accounted for? That's what for Bomber. You think have accounted without seeing it? Always saw in preseason, a lot of teams did nothing with it.
That's where I was going.
Have they adjusted yet for a kickoff rule that's going to allow for more kickoffs?
My answer, and again, we'll defer to Brad here. My answer is you're going to need something to happen in order for the books to adjust. And chances are this is something that is such a big focus, right? Like this is not something minor that they're not doing with the offensive line. This is not an equipment change. This is not something that the coaches can do. Like this is all eyes are on the kickoff. So my guess is that if we see an early change, which I don't think we will, these books are going to be on this thing faster than pass interference, holding, anything else like that, because it's going to be so big. I just don't know, Brad, like how is that going to correlate? More possessions? The clock still stops after you return a kick. Maybe you get out to the 30 a little bit more, but I don't know if that really improves your offense and what you're able to do outside of maybe a blip here or there or getting a better field position.
So I agree with you. I think it's just better field position. Outside of that, I don't know what you gain from this. So I think the books haven't adjusted yet because I don't know if they know how to adjust. I think it's going to take – it may just be week one. I mean, it may be tonight's game. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow night's game. But I don't think we've seen enough from the new kickoff rule to know exactly how to adjust. I'm like you. I think it just maybe ends up with better field position. I don't know if it changes how many times I'm going to get the ball, how long I'm going to have the ball. I think I just may get a better starting position. But if I'm still not a very good team, that's not helping me that much anyway. Now, is it going to help teams like Kansas City? Of course it is. But if you're a bad team, I don't think that's going to matter much. It's still the same, going to be the same result.
That's why I asked the question. I'm a moron. You're probably kind of a moron, Chad. But Bomber's not. So Bomber put me in my spot. I'm not going to overreact to it this year. You can see this great backdrop in front of me. I'm just going to gamble and try this year. I'm a gambler. Like you can see this unbelievable setup at Mohegan Sun's FanDuel Sportsbook. The huge screens here, the chairs.
Show us some
up
of
top,
the people.
fans,
Look at that. That's
crowds
awesome,
here,
man.
Jacked and pumped, ready to go. People want to come in here, Bomber, on a NFL Sunday or a college football Saturday. There are seats.
Move it back, tilt it back a little.
I know.
Come on,
See,
Mutt.
I can't.
You went off script, and now we're screwed. See,
that's what you get. That's what you get on this show. Off script. People want to come in here. You got big captain's chairs. You got tables for groups. You got a VIP section up top. If people want to come in, they can bet and watch the game standing up. If they want a seat, how do they go about getting a seat? How does that work?
Just go to MoheganSun.com, click on the Sportsbook link. You can go to reserve your seat, reserve your table there. We have all different kinds of packages. You can include food, not include food. We have food minimums, but that's the easiest way to do it. And you want to book ahead of time because we do fill up on the weekend. So you don't want to come in here last minute and try to get a seat.
Yeah, there's some days where you could potentially get a seat last minute, but I've been here for big events and you want to reserve your seat ahead of time. If you go to the Mohegan Sun Sportsbook page, there's it's an orange button, in fact, to reserve a seat. How about groups? Groups who want to come in NFL Sunday. They want to sit together. Can you get a group seating together at one of these spots?
Absolutely. So we have the VIP couches in the middle that hold upwards of 15 people. We have the mezzanine section, which if you've got a group of like 30, we could put you up there. We have tables of 8, but if you have bigger groups and you want to sit at a table, we'll push tables together. So we'll accommodate you. We'll find a place for you. Just reach out to us and send us a message and we'll get you in and we'll take care of you. No better place to watch the game than here. And especially this year with the package increase going up at home. For people.
Oh, geez, the DirecTV deal.
Good point, man.
Holy mackerel.
It's like groceries. It's crazy. So come in here. Let us do the work for you, right? Come in here, watch the game on a 140-foot video wall. We'll have the girls bring you drinks. We'll have food. We'll have the whole 9 yards here. And you get to watch every game on a big screen, a huge screen.
Are you guaranteeing winning bets if I come in here on Sunday?
I haven't guaranteed
that would be
anything in
helpful.
a long time, but
I'm trying to ask.
I will give winners. I will give winners. I do give winners.
We'll get a winner in a second from you. I did see some placards out on the tables where FanDuel here in the building is doing a promo with parlays, correct? People come in here and play some parlay bets?
Absolutely. You come in here and you play a parlay, even money parlay or more, and you go onto a splash page. You register on the splash page. If your name is drawn out as one of the winners, we're going to give away a couple of different you got my little sheet over there?
What sheet over here? There you go. We'll give you a sheet. There you go.
I don't want to tell people what we're not giving away.
I was going to say I get in trouble for it, but Aton will get in trouble for it, not me.
Absolutely. But once you are selected as the winner, we're going to give away some prizes. If I could find them here, I apologize for Mutt not being. I don't know where they
That's
went.
all right. Are you?
You handed me the pack. You said it was your packet.
What kind of show is this?
Pick your perk. It's the deal you have going on right now.
It's pick your perk. But
what if he's by you?
Here it is.
Oh, here we go. He found it.
Yeah. So if you're drawing, you get to pick a $150 Ticketmaster gift card. You can get bonus bets, Amazon gift cards, Uber gift cards. Here's a cool one. It's probably more expensive than they thought. NFL Sunday ticket package for the whole season, 24 and 25. If somebody takes that, we'll lose money on this promotion. And then we have jumpsuits and backpacks. So
nice.
We're trying to give people a chance. If they win, let them pick what they want. So
that's awesome.
That's a part of that. So we're excited about that.
All right. Most importantly here, they call you Bomber because I've known you for a bunch of years now. You've never given me a horse shorter than like 10-1. They don't always win, but when they win, we get paid. You come on my show, you pick long shots in college football, the NFL. You're allergic to chalk. Okay. You are the opposite of a chalk eating weasel. It is week 1. You have a best bet. We need to hear it. Go.
All right. So I'm actually week 1, but I'm going to do college. Is that okay?
Oh, of course. Great. Excellent.
So a little spot play here. So I was not impressed with Notre Dame whatsoever last week. As bad as that A&M quarterback was, and Notre Dame really couldn't do anything with that team until 6 minutes to go in the game. I think they have a little letdown this week. So I'm going to take the Northern Illinois Huskies plus the 28 points or more this week. And then next week they're on the road. Purdue's on the road, or Notre Dame's on the road at Purdue. So it's just kind of a great spot. for Northern Illinois. So that's who I'll go with on that one. And I do like, just a little side play Monday night, I do like the Jets over the 49ers. I think 49ers got some issues going on there. So I like the Jets in that spot.
Oh, is there? Oh, see, now you're making his day. You're gonna pick the. Oh, we'll find out in a minute. This
Love
place
that.
is awesome.
Love that. Thank you,
built,
for validating.
You built the spot for sports players. You built the spot for horse players. I've talked about that for a while. Breeders' Cup Bash. We back for Breeders' Cup here?
Absolutely. We're going to have a big Breeders' Cup Bash.
Awesome.
I can't wait. 2 days, Friday and Saturday. We'll turn this into Breeders' Cup heaven. Plenty of gifts and giveaways and pretty good announcers,
We'll
that
see
day.
about that.
Yeah. So we'll give some winners out. But no, we love it here. We're a sports book. We're a race book. We're about an experience. You know that.
Yeah.
That's what we're
I've
here
seen
for.
it up close. Yeah.
We have fun. I have fun. I love my job. And, we just want everybody else to have the same fun that we have every day.
Even after this 15 minutes, you still love your job?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll
Could have been a lot
15
worse.
minutes, right?
We'll snap them in the
Could have been a lot
next
worse.
10 weeks here.
I've been checking my phone. I haven't got any text that I need to go answer any,
Oh, you're
Nobody
gonna get
said-
plenty.
You're bringing down your brand by hanging with these two guys. Like nobody's texted
No.
you that.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Bomber, great stuff, buddy. I
Always
appreciate it. Thanks for
In
having
the
us.
Romo
This is,
jersey too. I mean, look,
this is-
I didn't even mention that.
In the
For the
Roma
Bomber.
jersey.
The Bomber, Brad Bryant, general manager here, Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sportsbook. When you come in here and you come to bet, you come to hang out, come say hello and say the Bomber was great on this first episode of Sportsbook Live from Mohegan Sun. Our final little 30-second break. And listen, you can't do a gambling show without a best bet segment. You sign up to do a gambling show, you do best bets. Best bets, Thursday Night Football next.
Who's in for Mohegan? Obviously, everyone. We're off to the races. A moment of calm before the dark and stormy. High score, dance floor. Apps, crafts, and nightcaps? Then it's down for the thread count to start it all again tomorrow. This is how it feels when you're all in for Mohegan. Mohegan Sun.
This football season, take in every epic moment on the largest HD video wall in the Northeast at the Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sportsbook.
Oh, the crowd went nuts for Bomber. Aton.
Good for us. To
Like
have somebody like that to really bring the show back up. You and I did so much damage to the show in the first two segments. To have like the chair is still there. The spirit of Bomber.
I didn't change the
here.
job. I can change it. I can see. I can't multitask. And so you're asking me to sit here and I got it.
Wait a second.
Okay, listen. This is an official announcement. I'm looking for an intern. Okay, you want an intern at this show? I don't know how I can pay. I'll pay you in. I will find an intern. Look, this is ridiculous. Bad job by me. Let me fix this.
See, you've just opened the door here for the chat to be
Great.
like the intern should co-host the show and Shander should be the intern. That's really what you right. I mean, that's really what we should be looking for.
No, you're gonna say no. You're gonna say too many smart and dumb things over the course of the year. We need you as part of the show. I like the advice. The week one thing is tough because you see the whole board. You want to fire. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to back off week one. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I'm gonna try to back off. All right. So best bets Thursday Night Football. We had a great one here tonight on Thursday night. You want to start? Where do you want to start with? Let's let you go first here. We'll go. Want to do three each? Does that work for
3
you?
each. We'll go back and forth. Basically, everything is on the table except Thursday Night Football. Correct?
Okay. Yes, everything except for Thursday night. We'll do that at the end. Yes.
All right. So let me start again. I bet this April 10th, not May 10th. April 10th. The Odd Shopper family got it way back on April 10th. Under 51.5 for Friday Night Football. It's down to what you see here, 49.5. I'm fine with that, to be honest with you. I can take this thing down to 46.5 and still be okay with it, knowing that I've lost 5 points really through that key number of 51. But look, here's the reality. There's way too much new stuff going on for both of these teams. New coordinators on both sides for the Eagles, new defensive coordinator for Green Bay. It's a brand new environment, all right? It's hard for me to think that Devontae Smith and Darius Slay are the only two human beings that are involved in this football game that have a problem with going down to Brazil because they were the two vocal ones about it. No, we know, and you know from covering this game, and I do as well, that players are beyond a creature of habit. Like, you can't put any disruption out there. We saw this in London. We saw this in Germany. We saw this in Mexico. It doesn't matter. We're going to see it again here in Brazil. It's a massive disruption. It's going to take a lot to get this thing over the total. Give me under 51.5, 49.5 now is fine.
Yeah, and you had it a while ago. You've got a good number, and we'll see if it plays that way. I'm going to start with a side. It's a team that I can't believe I'm betting on week 1 of the NFL season. Give me the Carolina Panthers. I have it at +4. Can we update the screen there to see if we have – we're down to 3.5. So I'm okay with it 3.5.
You should be, though.
I played it at 4. This is basic. Divisional game, low total, take the points. And look, the Saints, Dennis Allen stinks. David Carr stinks. Offensive line, Brandon Thorne does offensive line work for Established the Run, has them as the 25th offensive line, the Saints offensive line in the entire league. I think Carolina is much better than people expected they were going to be. There's got some real offense there. They invested in the offense with Deontay Johnson, Xavier Leggett. Like, they put some real talent there. And it's more of an anti-Saints play than it's a pro-Panthers play. It's going to be an ugly game. I like the under in this game as well. But they should not be giving this many points here early in the year. The Saints aren't very good. Divisional games, low total. Divisional dogs in week 1 win at about 60% over the last 10 years. So pretty simple. Ugly game. No one's going to bet it. Give me Carolina +3.5 and a sprinkle on the money line as well. They can beat the Saints.
I got this at 5 at the start of the month. It's been bet down. Now, look, the reality is there's no true difference between 3.5 and really up to 5.5. Because 6 is the number that you worry about, and games rarely end on 5. 4 is a little bit different, but not to the point. So you're locked in with a hook. I love it. No issues, no pushback on that. I think, as you mentioned, Dennis Allen, Derek Carr, vastly. They're more overrated than Shandon.
Yes. Well, we'll see about that. Who do you like for game 2? Give me a second game.
All right. So, again, I talked about the win total here. I talk about this out loud. Like, let's just say this out loud here. And again, this is down now to 3.5. This is another one that dipped. We jumped on this at the start at 4.5. So there's not a ton of difference, but you can see the market is moving. So what Caleb Williams has to do is win his first ever NFL football game and win it by a margin more than the most popular key number in the NFL. He has to win a game by 4 points, which is the most difficult thing to do because we see constantly games, more than any, end at 3 and you get bit by a hook. So this is a brand new football team and a brand new quarterback and a coaching staff that nobody should trust to put this thing together. Well, what about the Titans? The reality is the Titans are a forgotten team in the NFL. We've got like 4 or 5 of these teams in the NFL each year where they're in a market that isn't the biggest, most prominent one unless they're winning football games. They're easy to just overlook. A lot of the public doesn't know about this team. And outside of any question marks you have with Will Levis, this is actually a pretty decent football team overall. Give me 3.5. I'd take the 4.5, but absolutely give me the Titans to cover this and have a shot to win this thing outright.
Underdogs in week 1, folks. Underdogs and unders. It looks ugly. You're gonna be sick when you sit down at 1 o'clock on Sunday and you're looking at your tickets, you're looking at your screen, and you go, "Holy crap! I have the Panthers.
Yep.
I have the Titans. I have unders everywhere." Week 1 of the NFL, underdogs and unders. I'm fine with it. I'll give you an under that I absolutely love. Show me the Steelers Falcons total right now. Can we go to the total for Steelers and Falcons?
42.5.
I saw it at 42, and I want the under. I saw the money on this game is the sharp money's on the under. Only 13% of the bets, but 50% of the money from what I looked at today. The Steelers are going to go Russ Wilson at quarterback. They were 26th in pace a year ago. They want to play slow. They're built to play slow. Maybe the Falcons are faster with Cousins, but I still don't necessarily trust that offense to really want to speed it up. And here's one courtesy of the Action Network. Mike Tomlin, unders on the road. Last 80 games, the under is gone 55-25. That is insane. Mike Tomlin's great as a dog coach. He's better as an under coach, and I love the under. Pittsburgh Falcons, give it to Bijan, give it to Harris, run the ball a million times. I can't believe this is 42.5. I like this better than my first pick. I want the under Steelers and Falcons.
All right. Look, I'm not going to talk you off here. I think for me, my favorite plays in this game are the Steelers with points, especially getting that hook and taking a shot.
Yeah.
Half, right? This just you've got way too many people in Atlanta who are doing something new for the first time, right? Morris is the new head coach there, the offensive coordinator calling plays, defensive coordinator calling plays. Kirk Cousins is brand new. So it would make sense that you would lean on the run game here. And the same side here, as bad as Matt Canada was, Arthur Smith can only be an improvement. So I'm with you, man. I think that's a good one for sure. I'd love to push back on that, but I think you have something here. Look, if you're not going to do it, are you going to do it or should I do it?
Go ahead. What do you want to do?
I mean, how can you not lay the 8.5 against the Patriots here? First-year head coach, first-year quarterback against a team that I don't know, maybe Philadelphia, but I don't know a team in the AFC that's more motivated to bounce back and prove that they belong in Super Bowl conversations than the Cincinnati Bengals. It ain't the Bills, right? They've been there. It's the Bengals. It's what's happened with Burrow. It's coming back. It's opening up. If this were week 3, week 8, something along those lines, maybe I'm not rushing to lay the 8.5. But I feel like this is a college game. I feel like this is you opening up a season and you want to put some points on the board, and you're going to do it against a team that you should absolutely decimate. Better coaching staff, better quarterback, better depth, better just feel in the locker room. I'll absolutely lay the 8.5 here for the Bengals.
I was wary on this because I didn't think Jamar Chase was going to play, and I thought maybe that would be the door opening for the Patriots.
Really?
But the injury,
really?
I listen. It's the only game on the board in week 1 that is more than a touchdown spread. And so, what is the likelihood that the one game that's 8.5 that team is going to cover? I've seen the numbers where week 1 dogs of 7 or more have a pretty good run. I lean where you're going, but it's a lot of points. It's still week 1, and maybe Jamar here. I guess I'll do this. Maybe Jamar Chase is rusty. Maybe Joe Burrow not ready to go.
Okay.
So I'm leaning your way because at the end of it, the Patriots offensive line is terrible. Jacoby Brissett is terrible. And like they did not show at any point during the preseason any real glimpse of them being like a real legitimate top flight team. So I would lean your way, and it's juiced up a little bit there with Cincinnati. But it's not one I was like, it was not on my list to bet. I will say that. Okay. It's not on my list to bet. My third pick, actually, go ahead.
Yeah, one more. We got like 5 minets, Mr. Time Management, Mr. Radio Clock here, just so you know.
I sort of cheated because my third pick is tonight's game. My third. Where are we at 3 or are we at 3 or 2.5 right now? Where are we at right now? Ravens and Chiefs. Thursday night football kickoff game. Taylor Swift will be there. We're sitting at 3. I'm taking Kansas City, and I'm laying the point. This betting against Mahomes thing is stupid. These people that want to bet against Mahomes, I see that like Mahomes is 24-8-1 as a favorite of 3 points or less. That includes the dog. He's 4-1 against Lamar Jackson. The game they lost, they fumbled the ball trying to get some sort of field goal attempt there at the end. Lamar Jackson did not play in the preseason. You mentioned the Ravens before. 3 new offensive linemen. I don't know what Tom Monken's going to do. Maybe this is me still physically and emotionally scarred from betting and laying 4.5 last year in the AFC title game and thinking, oh, this is the game. We're finally going to beat Mahomes. I'm betting the Ravens. I bet them all year. I'm betting them here. Maybe I'm still scarred by that. But it seems stupid to me to want to bet against Mahomes less than a field goal. They're at home. They're healthy. They're going for the three-peat. They don't have a revenge in their mind. But this won't be a game they're not ready for because they know how good Baltimore is. I'm cheating by taking my third game. I'm playing the Chiefs. I'm laying the 3. There were some 2.5s out there. Like it even better. -105 on FanDuel. Chiefs -3.
Is there any concern that there will be a massive disruption or distraction for the Kansas City Chiefs team following the news that their super fan was sentenced to 17 years for bank robbery?
Chiefs fan got 17 years today?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Didn't a true crime show break this?
I'm not sure about that. I do know this. I do know that Taylor Swift's going to be there. And they
that relationship is fake, allegedly.
No, that's not fake. Come on. All Hollywood relationships are real. How dare you? How do you question
you and I are a fake relationship. Well, you had to sign a contract to be my friend for 10 months.
So that's my third pick. Any lean tonight, Thursday night football for the people?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple rapid fire here as we wind down. My favorite play of the night's over 8.5 attempts. for Lamar Jackson on the ground. I think you're going to see design runs running out of necessity, emergency. I told you the offensive line is cooked. I also think you're going to see a guy step up here and take advantage on the Kansas City side, and that's Xavier Worthy. Over 3.5 grabs at plus 129. Yep. Last play for me under 19.5 rushing yards for Patrick Mahomes. Don't think you see a lot of running from him tonight.
Broncos team total 17.5. I like the under. I think Bo Nix is going to be in trouble in Seattle on the road to start the year. So their team total under 17.5. And a touchdown bet. I thought Saquon Barkley. I lean Jalen Hurts, but then I figured they want to protect him. Barkley's first game. Green Bay was 26th DVOA against the run last year. So a touchdown bet. It's not going to be a huge price for you. Both in touchdown parlays. I would include Saquon Barkley in there as well. Anything else for the people? I think did we survive week one? Did we survive?
Did the chat
survive week one? You tell me. I
did
can't
the chat survive?
You can see the chat. People are put up for the
2,118 unread messages on the chat.
I'm going to screw this camera up. Great job back, dude. Excellent job putting this together, basically producing it on that side. Back on your end, Eitan. Excellent job.
It's Mohegan Sun that we thank. It's the book. It's everybody out there that's watching. Even if you're just watching to make fun of me, thank you for that. Or Mutt. Right? Like I didn't show you my hairline yet. I'll save that for next week.
You shave your head. We were here at Mohegan Sun FanDuel Sports. We'll be here Thursday nights, 6 until 7. Come in, bet the games, hang with us. We're putting people in the crowd on the air next week. And at some point, you will be here. The lights are turning off. That means we have to go. Thank you for watching. Eitan, great stuff, buddy. We'll talk next Thursday.